Pick that guitar and pocket me.
The world surely is changing, right? Every day, major changes anymore. We've entered tribulation, and this is only the beginning.
Our top story this hour. 3 months after the ceasefire in Gaza came into effect, the United States now says the second phase of the agreement has begun. As part of that phase 2, a 15-person Palestinian committee is to govern Gaza under the oversight of a so-called Board of Peace, which will be chaired by US President Donald Trump.
Board of Peace, Trump's Board of Peace, right? And, you know, just thinking about that alone, I'm hearing about that, not on the political arena, right? Where everybody's trying to pay attention to this and that, that's bad for us, but not paying attention to all the stuff God told us to watch out for. So I find out about the Board of Peace issue from Christian channels, mentioning it, saying a few things about it, right? And that's good. But most of them, they're all telling you, oh, but don't fear, everything's okay. We're going to be pulled up out of here real soon. We're going to be raptured up out of here. And that's probably not true, right? See, they give you this stuff, but you got to watch out, because then they're also poisoning you with stuff that, I mean, we could take some scriptures and twist them up a little bit, and then take original Hebrews and give generalization of what the word meant to say, oh yeah, it's talking about rapture. Or we can just take the stuff for word what it is and just assume that shit is about to get bad. And the reason God warned us about it is so that we will stay fast in who we are, stay strong in who we are as God's people, to withstand the tribulation. We just need to consider that and realize that. And if somebody's painting you a different picture, most of them can't give you absolute proof, so they're painting you a picture of something they don't know for sure, that somebody else painted for them, that's become an American way, but not a Christian way everywhere else. Our policies are dooming the world. And, you know, so I say, you know, so I made a couple of videos recently, and I've lost a few subscribers. It's not so much that I necessarily like that idea to lose subscribers. I want to gain subscribers. I want people to get gainful information out of my channel or entertainment, right? And, you know, so, but I'm not going to sit here and whine about it either. If I lost you as a subscriber because I'm talking some common sense stuff and you just don't want to see it because you're blinded, well, then see you later. But please take a minute to understand what the hell I'm actually saying. Right? Because it'll do you some good. Like I said, I got nothing to gain from anyone. No financial gain, nothing. I'm out here doing this, whether you watch or not, whether you subscribe or not. And, you know, much respect to the subscribers I currently have. I would like to see it grow. But, you know, anyone that, because they get hurt feelings because they don't like what I say about their political candidate, well, I mean, see you later. The facts are the facts, and we're supposed to stand on the side of God, on the side of justice, right? They keep putting this shit in our face about what's going on in Minnesota. I'm not for the protests. not for the protesters. I want to be clear about that. But as I also said, I'm not for government agents roaming our streets en masse, harassing anyone they feel like. Right? ICE has a job. Their job is to, under a warrant, show up at some place, serve up that warrant, and arrest that person. It's not their job to roam the streets, push people around, start asking people to show their papers to identify themselves. That's not how that works. That's un-American. That's the part that needs to be stopped. But I'm not going to sit here and say, oh yeah, you should join Tim Walz's nonsense freaking protest because it's all a scam. They don't know what they're protesting when it boils down to it. Tim Walz has no business telling people to protest. He is part of the government, whether you like it or not, both sides, okay? It's you against the government, and he's just fanning the flames, hoping to burst off civil war, right? But we all need to stand together and say no. And I'm not saying do it in the ways of running down to them protests, but let's be clear here. There's a proper way to protest and not, okay? And a lot of them people aren't protesting right. And I'm not trying to stick up for the ones that aren't protesting right. But there is a proper way to do it, and it's American. Don't tell me that you got to go save protesters in other nations, but you're not going to listen to the protesters here. Like it or not, what the ICE agents are doing is wrong. That's what I'm saying. If they want to do their job lawfully, then yeah, anyone interfering in that should be arrested. Okay? Yeah, we got to do something about the immigration issue. But all of us want to keep our mouths shut and look the other way when they don't want to do nothing about the people that caused it. Okay? You're never going to fix it until you hold those people accountable, until those people pay. Meanwhile, the innocent are paying. But my main point today is is why I say this. You know, there's people I respect out there that do side with the right, and that's okay. I'm not here to start arguments or nothing like that. It ain't all these people. And stuff I see from some major people that, you know, there's certain channels I watch and I give shout outs to that they look at it down the middle. They get the facts straight but now we got other channels. They're not just leaning to the right, identifying with the right. They are all in, right? And they post this nonsense, okay? Because here's what I'm getting at. This whole, and I don't want to give names to those channels, okay? Maybe those certain ones just don't realize how dumb they're being, right? Or how caught up in it they're being, okay? But we got this whole thing that came out now with President Trump flipping somebody off. Okay, so now certain people on the right, they just throw all these memes out there and they laugh it off. Oh, somebody got fired and all this, and they laughed about it because the dude got fired. It was at a Ford plant, right? And Ford fired the guy. Heckling Trump is what they want to tell you, right? But what's the whole story? All you MAGA people who are out there sharing that meme of Trump flipping somebody off, acting like he's a real badass. What's the whole context there? Well, that person yelled out to Trump, "You're a PDF protector."
Well, the president also took a tour of Ford's Rouge complex, where he got into a tense exchange with a worker inside the facility. In video obtained by TMZ, a worker on a floor below Trump can be heard shouting something that included the words, quote, "pedophile protector." Apparently, of course, in reference to sex offender Jeffrey Epstein and the delayed, heavily redacted release of the Epstein files. Well, the president is then seen pointing down at the worker, either mouthing or yelling the F word and the word you, and then giving the middle finger. Now, TMZ says the White House communications director sent them a response which reads, quote, A lunatic was wildly screaming expletives in a complete fit of rage, and the president gave an appropriate and unambiguous response, end quote. In a statement, a Ford Motor Company spokesperson said, quote, "One of our core values is respect, and we don't condone anyone saying anything inappropriate like that within our facilities. When that happens, we have a process to deal with it, but we don't get into specific personnel matters," end quote.
Right? That pissed Trump off, and he flipped that guy off. That guy ended up fired. Well, now there's GoFundMe and stuff. They've raised over $500,000 so far within a day, and rightfully so, right? Because, you know, if it was somebody heckling him over something stupid, but it's not. What the guy said was right. And the thing is, the MAGA side does not want to face it. However, when it's the other way around, also the left don't want to face it with their people, right? Just like, you know, the left's getting wound up by Tim Walz over there with the shit going on in Minnesota, right? And they're being fools for it, not seeing. But now the right's getting wound up for everything Trump does. Like, this guy's just the greatest thing, right? And he said so himself. But what's the deal, you know? So he flipped that guy off. Every one of us should be on that guy's side. And what it says, more than that, is there's people that want to excuse Trump. Oh, just forget it. Just get on with it. You know, because we got to worry about this economy. We got to worry about America first, which they're not putting America first. That's what I'm getting at with the whole, bouncing around a little bit here, right? The whole board of peace. Trump, you know, you got tools like Alex Jones telling you Trump's going against the globalists. He's kicking them out. Yeah, we're separating from NATO and the UN, right? That's because those things are going to be non-existent. There's something new taking over called the Board of Peace. It's every bit a globalist dream. And everyone that he is so far considering appointing to it are nothing but globalists. But we don't want to see that. Instead, we don't want to look at the whole story. We'll look at half the story and say, oh, he's pulling us out of the United Nations. He's sticking it to the globalists. No, he's not. He's pulling us out of the United Nations because what are you people not listening about? They told us, the World Economic Forum told us, all these rich bastards have told us this. A great reset is coming. You will own nothing and be happy, right? Meanwhile, all the MAGA supporters over here supporting cops. At the same time, bitching about their taxes being raised, right? Well, my dear friends, who do you think's gonna come with their guns out to take your house from you when you decide you're done paying that nonsense tax? Well, it's going to be those police that you keep supporting. They're going to show up with a mask, with guns out, and if you don't comply, they're going to shoot you. But we don't want to see that. We'll just keep on saying, yeah, those dumb protesters, get them arrested. Well, when they come for you, no one will be there to protest for you. And I want to be clear here. I'm talking from experience here. My life's been shit. It's fallen to hell. And when people should have stood up to have my back because I was innocent, everybody sat on their thumbs worrying about national politics instead of worrying about what's going on right around our own self. The point is that over everything else that this guy got fired for, everybody should be standing with him. Because that's the real issue, is it not? Don't sit there and stick up for anything Trump or any of them, left or right, is doing until you want to put your money where your mouth is and prove that the children are the last straw. But we're not going to do that. We're going to sit here and say, oh, Trump wasn't never on that island, on that flight, and ignore the fact that at least 8 times, it's been proven so far, his name's been on there at least 8 times. Not just him, right? So has Clinton. So has Gates. So has all these people. And they all need to fry for it. But Trump's diverting you. But that guy was right. He is a PDF protector, is he not? If you're going to protect them, then you're no damn different than them. Okay? We can sit here and use these lame-ass excuses. Oh, there's no proof. You don't got video proof that Trump did any of this, or you know what? And then the left sticks up for their people. All sides are guilty. All have been involved. Every one of us get our lives ruined, ran through it for far less evidence than the shit we have on them already. Your silence is guilt, and you're protecting any of them is wrong. Okay? And so when you want to stand up for him or demonize the left because they got a problem with your president flipping somebody off, it was well deserved, Mr. President. Right? And that's what we don't we don't want to figure out. Just because you voted for him. Well, now you got who you wanted in there, hold his feet to the fire and force him to do what's right for all of us. We're not going to do that. We're going to look the other way. And then we're going to demonize the left because they couldn't handle it when Trump flipped somebody off. That's right. His disrespect. He should be sitting behind bars, whether he's touched a child or not, because he is guilty of protecting the ones that have. And we don't want to see that. Right? Anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Whiskey and I, we appreciate it very much. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep all of his commandments. For that is the whole duty of man. For God will bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. See ya.